Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the golf world lately: Cameron Smith's recent comments about LIV Golf and his future. Now, if you've been following the drama between LIV and the PGA Tour, you know it's been a roller coaster. But what makes this really interesting is Smith's stance. He's not just picking a side, he's openly saying he wants LIV to survive, but if it doesn't, he'd 100% return to the PGA Tour. Personally, I think this says a lot about where players' loyalties lie, or maybe where their pragmatism lies. It's like, I'm here for the ride, but I've got a backup plan. What many people don't realize is how much LIV Golf has become a personal project for Smith. He's the captain of the All-Australian team, Ripper GC, and he's been vocal about what LIV has done for golf in Australia. The Adelaide event earlier this year was massive, over 115,000 fans, the biggest golf event in the country's history. From my perspective, this isn't just about money for Smith. It's about legacy. He's talked about how LIV has boosted junior golf, memberships, and social play in Australia. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a guy who sees LIV as more than just a paycheck. It's a platform to grow the sport he loves in his home country. But here's where it gets tricky. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, the financial backbone of LIV, has said they're pulling the plug after this season. That's a huge red flag. Smith's contract is reportedly worth $140 million, but even that kind of money doesn't guarantee stability. One thing that immediately stands out is how uncertain he sounds about the future. He said, "I don't really understand what's going to happen. I think it's all up in the air." That's not the kind of confidence you'd expect from someone with a nine-figure deal. What this really suggests is that even the players are in the dark about LIV's long-term viability. Now, let's talk about the PGA Tour. Smith's willingness to return if LIV folds is fascinating. It's almost like he's saying, "I'm all in on LIV, but if the ship sinks, I'm not going down with it." In my opinion, this reflects a broader trend in sports. Players are becoming more business savvy. They're not just athletes, they're brands, and they're hedging their bets. But what makes this situation unique is the animosity between LIV and the PGA Tour. If Smith does go back, how will he be received? Will there be hard feelings? Personally, I think the PGA Tour would welcome him back. Talent like his is hard to ignore. But it wouldn't be without some awkward conversations. A detail I find fascinating is Smith's focus on the team aspect of LIV. He said, "The team we've got, I feel like we make each other better people and better golfers." This is a side of golf we don't often see. The PGA Tour is very much an individual sport, but LIV has introduced this team dynamic. If you ask me, this could be a game changer for golf's appeal, especially to younger audiences. But the question is, can this model survive without the Saudi funding? I'm not so sure. If you take a step back and think about it, the entire LIV versus PGA Tour saga is about more than just money or loyalty. It's about the future of golf. LIV has shaken things up: bigger prize pools, faster formats, team play. But at what cost? The PGA Tour has history, tradition, and a global following. LIV has innovation and deep pockets, or at least it did. This raises a deeper question: can golf sustain two major leagues, or will one eventually dominate? Personally, I think the sport is big enough for both, but only if they can find a way to coexist without tearing each other apart. So, where does this leave Cameron Smith? He's in a tough spot. He's invested in LIV, both financially and emotionally, but he's not blind to the risks. His comments about returning to the PGA Tour feel like a safety net, but they also show a level of maturity. He's not letting pride get in the way of his career. What many people don't realize is how rare this kind of honesty is in professional sports. Athletes usually stick to the script, but Smith is giving us a real look into his thought process. As we wrap this up, I'm left wondering, what's next for LIV Golf? For Cameron Smith? For the sport as a whole? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. Whether LIV survives or folds, Smith's comments have given us a lot to think about. Personally, I'm rooting for a resolution that keeps the best parts of both worlds, the tradition of the PGA Tour and the innovation of LIV. But only time will tell. What do you think? Is LIV here to stay, or is it just a blip in golf's history? Let me know in the comments below.